Imagine this, somewhere in the history of human civilization, a divine being was born at midnight during a terrible storm, in a prison cell, guarded by soldiers, surrounded by locked doors and chains. Yet within hours, those chains fell off by themselves. The guards fell into inexplicable sleep, and the newborn child was whisked away to safety by the very forces of nature. Most people alive today have never heard the full, astonishing details of how Krishna's birth, celebrated as Janmashtami, was not just a miracle, but a cosmic event so powerful that it reversed the laws of destiny itself. Today, we explore the most celebrated birth in all of Hindu tradition, the arrival of Lord Krishna. We'll discover why this night, occurring on the 8th lunar day of the dark fortnight in the month of Bhadrapada, roughly August or September, becomes the most electrifying moment in the Sanatan calendar. And by the end, you will understand one revelation that even traditional temples rarely explain: why Krishna's birth was the only way the universe could be saved from total destruction. Stay with us. Let us travel back to Mathura, a city in what is now Uttar Pradesh, India, around 5,000 years ago according to Vedic chronology. King Kamsa, the tyrannical ruler of the Yadav dynasty, had received a prophecy: the eighth child born to his cousin Devaki would grow up to kill him. Consumed by fear, Kamsa imprisoned Devaki and her husband Vasudev in a dungeon, determined to murder every child born to them. 6 infants were killed. The seventh, Balram, was miraculously transferred to the womb of another mother. And then came the eighth child, Krishna, meaning the Dark One, or the one who attracts all souls. According to the Bhagavata Purana, one of Hinduism's most sacred texts, Krishna was born on the 8th day, called Ashtami, of the Krishna Paksh, the dark fortnight. The exact moment was midnight, during a violent downpour and thunderstorm. The prison where Devaki lay was guarded by soldiers. Every door was locked, every exit sealed. Yet in that very moment, something impossible occurred. The guards fell into deep sleep, the chains binding Devaki and Vasudev turned to ash, and the prison doors swung open on their own. Vasudev carried the newborn Krishna across the flooded Yamuna river, and the waters parted, creating a safe passage. He reached the village of Gokul, where he placed the newborn in the home of a cowherd named Nanda and his wife Yashoda. When he returned to the prison, Devaki and Vasudev remained, and no one ever questioned what had happened. The cosmic order had been preserved, yet reality had been fundamentally altered. But here is what most people, even devout Hindus, do not know about Janmashtami, the celebration of this birth. This festival is not merely a commemoration of a historical or mythological event. It is a reenactment of a cosmic battle between Dharma, righteous order, and Adharma, destructive chaos. The very fact that Krishna could be born in a prison, during a thunderstorm, with all the laws of nature seemingly against him, teaches us something profound about existence itself, that destiny is not fixed by circumstances, that fate can be rewritten by divine will, and that the most powerful transformations happen in the darkest moments. Every Janmashtami, when Hindus gather to celebrate this birth with songs, dances, and midnight vigils, called Jagar, they are not just remembering, they are invoking that same divine power to transform their own lives and overcome their own impossible situations. The symbolism runs even deeper. Krishna's birth represents the descent of the divine into the human realm, specifically to restore balance. In the Bhagavata Purana, it is written that Krishna incarnated because the earth itself had become too heavy with the burden of unrighteous kings and corrupt powers. The universe needed a savior who could defeat evil not through mere force, but through wisdom, love, and the re-establishment of Dharma. When you celebrate Janmashtami by staying awake until midnight, singing devotional songs called Kirtan, and breaking a pot of butter at dawn, a ritual called Dahi Handi, you are participating in the same cosmic action. You are declaring that no darkness, no imprisonment, no impossible circumstance can prevent the light from being born. In the modern world, Janmashtami speaks to something universal, the triumph of hope over despair. Kamsa represented every force that tries to control, restrict, and prevent spiritual growth. But Krishna's birth, occurring in the very place designed to prevent it, teaches us that our highest potential cannot be imprisoned by our circumstances, our fears, or even our past mistakes. The midnight hour, traditionally when Krishna was born, has always symbolized the darkest point before dawn. It reminds us that transformation often begins in silence, in secrecy, in the moments when the world seems most hopeless. Across India and the Hindu diaspora worldwide, Janmashtami is celebrated with extraordinary devotion. In temples, priests perform elaborate rituals reenacting Krishna's life story. In homes, families fast, sing, and stay awake through the night. In streets and villages, young people enact the Dahi Handi, breaking a pot suspended high above the ground, just as young Krishna once stole butter from the homes of cowherds. This playful act of theft carries deep meaning. It represents the stealing away of the ego, the breaking of attachment to material possessions, and the recognition that what is truly precious is the divine connection that Krishna represents. What makes Janmashtami eternally relevant is this: the message is not that Krishna was born and all problems were solved. Rather, it is that Krishna was born to teach us how to solve our own problems, through devotion, through understanding our Dharma, and through the recognition that we each carry divine potential within us. His birth was only the beginning. His teachings, his life, his dance with the gopis by the Yamuna river, his wisdom shared in the Bhagavad Gita, these all flowed from that first miraculous midnight when the impossible became possible. As you observe Janmashtami this year, whether in a temple, in your home, or simply in your heart, remember this truth: you were born for a reason. You carry within you the same divine spark that Krishna represents. The circumstances of your birth, your family, your country, your struggles, are not the limits of your destiny. They are the very stage upon which your greatest transformation can occur. Like Krishna, you have the power to break the chains that bind you, to cross the floods that threaten to drown you, and to carry light into the darkest corners of the world. That is the eternal blessing of Janmashtami. Subscribe to Sanatan